The 2025 presidential inauguration is set to be one of the most anticipated and closely watched events in American politics. President Donald Trump is about to begin his second term in office after a hard-fought campaign and numerous twists in the political landscape. Unlike previous inaugurations, the 2025 ceremony will be a landmark event, marked by a series of significant changes, including where and how the festivities will unfold. For many, the inauguration will be a moment of celebration, a reflection on Trump's journey, and the promise of what lies ahead for the country. But, with unpredictable weather, concerns about safety, and some unique elements surrounding this day, the inauguration will be like no other in recent memory. In this script, we'll cover everything you need to know about Trump's second inauguration, from the timing and schedule to the guests, the performances, and the weather that could change the course of history. Donald Trump's inauguration is scheduled to take place on Monday, January 20th, 2025, a significant day that marks the official start of his second term. The events of this day will be observed across the world, but for the people of the United States, the day is filled with rich tradition, with a few modern twists that make this inauguration unique. At precisely 12 p.m. Eastern Time, President-elect Donald Trump will take the oath of office, officially beginning his second term as President of the United States. This tradition, set by the U.S. Constitution, is the central moment of the inauguration. The oath of office will be administered inside the U.S. Capitol, but due to concerns about cold weather in Washington, D.C., this will be an indoor inauguration, breaking from the usual outdoor setting on the steps of the Capitol. While most inaugurations in modern history have been held outdoors, the decision to move Trump's second inauguration indoors marks a significant break with tradition. The last time an inauguration was held indoors was in 1985, when President Ronald Reagan's second term began. The reason? Freezing temperatures and adverse weather conditions. The current forecast for D.C. predicts similarly frigid temperatures, prompting the decision to take the ceremony indoors for the comfort and safety of the attendees. This has become a necessary precaution to ensure that the ceremony can go forward without a hitch, despite the uncooperative weather. Weather concerns and the coldest inauguration days. Speaking of the weather, January in Washington, D.C. is often cold, but the inauguration day could see temperatures near freezing, with wind chills making it feel even colder. In fact, experts are predicting one of the coldest inauguration days in recent history. This concern has prompted the change to an indoor venue for the ceremony itself. The decision to hold the inauguration inside also recalls the coldest inaugural days from history. For instance, Franklin Pierce's inauguration in 1853 was held in such bitter cold that the ceremony was shortened, and he barely uttered his inaugural speech. It's safe to say that this year's event won't be as drastic, but weather-related precautions are in place to avoid a similar situation. Instead of the grand outdoor setting traditionally seen in past inaugurations, Trump's second swearing-in will be held within the Capitol Rotunda. This is the heart of the U.S. Capitol building, a space historically used for significant events, including the lying-in state ceremonies of deceased presidents and other dignitaries. Holding the inauguration indoors ensures that the ceremony can be conducted in comfort and without the potential disruptions that cold weather or rain might cause. The Capitol Rotunda is symbolic in itself, a central space where Americans and their leaders gather during pivotal moments in history. Holding the ceremony here will underscore the solemnity of the occasion, as well as the gravity of the tasks ahead for the new administration. One of the most exciting aspects of any inauguration is the lineup of notable guests and performers. For President Trump's second inauguration, the guest list will include a mix of political figures, family, and prominent celebrities. Former presidents such as Joe Biden, Trump's predecessor, and other political leaders from both sides of the aisle are expected to attend, showing unity and respect for the democratic process despite their political differences. The performers at the inauguration have become just as important a part of the festivities. The star-studded lineup will include a mix of country, rock, and pop stars, with Snoop Dogg set to make an appearance. Despite his past controversies, Snoop's performance is expected to add a unique cultural touch to the event. Other acts like Kid Rock, Carrie Underwood, and Jason Aldean are expected to entertain the crowd, providing a lively atmosphere in an otherwise formal setting. After the inaugural ceremony and the swearing-in of President Trump, the day will continue with the iconic inaugural parade. Traditionally, the parade moves down Pennsylvania Avenue, leading from the Capitol to the White House. However, in response to weather concerns, the route may be shortened or adjusted, ensuring the safety of those involved. Regardless, the parade will feature military personnel, floats, and marching bands, along with groups representing all 50 states. In the evening, the celebration will continue with several inaugural balls. These festive gatherings will feature live music, fine dining, and dancing, as well as performances from top entertainers, creating an atmosphere of celebration and reflection as the country looks toward the future. For those who couldn't be there in person, the inauguration will be streamed live, bringing the event to millions of viewers worldwide. Given the political tensions surrounding President Trump's second term, the security surrounding the event will be heightened. The Secret Service and other agencies have been working to ensure the safety of attendees, including high-profile guests and performers, while also managing crowds and potential threats. There is a substantial presence of law enforcement officers and military personnel expected to be deployed throughout the event. Many roads will be closed, and restricted areas will be set up to keep crowds at a safe distance from key locations like the Capitol building and the White House. The inauguration is expected to be one of the most heavily guarded events in American history. While there have been multiple indoor events related to the presidency, an indoor inauguration is an extraordinary move. The decision to hold this event inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda has already sparked conversation. In 1985, during President Reagan's second term, an inauguration was held indoors for similar weather reasons. Since then, all other inaugurations have been held outdoors, despite the occasional threat of bad weather. In 2025, however, the decision to move the event inside ensures that President Trump's inauguration will proceed smoothly, allowing for comfort and avoiding possible disruptions. The decision to move the event indoors may be a temporary measure, but it has set a precedent for future inaugurations that will be influenced by climate change and unpredictable weather patterns. When does the Trump inauguration start? The inauguration officially kicks off at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, when President Trump will take the oath of office. However, the day's events will begin earlier, with the arrival of dignitaries and VIPs at the Capitol building, followed by the ceremonial presidential procession. It's important to note that this event will be available for live broadcast on several major networks, including ABC, NBC, CBS, and FOX NEWS. Those unable to attend in person can enjoy the ceremony from the comfort of their homes, as it will be streamed across multiple platforms, including the official White House website. President Trump's second inauguration will not only be a ceremonial moment, but it also marks the start of what promises to be a critical period for the United States. As Trump's administration prepares to enter its second term, the nation looks toward what's to come, both the challenges and the opportunities that await in a divided political landscape. This event is more than just a formal procedure. It represents the continuation of a democratic process that has endured for centuries. As millions of Americans gather, watch, and participate in the festivities, one thing is certain: the eyes of the world will be on Washington, D.C., as President Trump embarks on his second term. From the indoors of the Capitol Rotunda to the celebrations at Capital One Arena, this inauguration will be a historic and memorable event filled with pomp, circumstance, and perhaps a few surprises along the way. Let us reflect on what it means to be a part of history and what this next chapter will hold for the American people.